The real conversation happens beyond the boardrooms. Join me at an intersection of business and lifestyle. Where suits meets t-shirts. This is the Frankly Business Podcast. Welcome.
Hi guys, it's an amazing time. As usual, this is the Frankly Business Podcast, and with Frank and Co. You know how we do it here. We just talk about issues bedeviling different industries. We break it down for you to really understand how it affects you as an individual, how to play in a particular industry, and how to go round the ropes of what it takes for you to be able to play in that industry with the competition and across with all the competition and everything that has to do with going through the stress of the rough parts in the Nigerian business ecosystem. So you know how we break it down for you. And the major reason is the Frankly Business Podcast is out here for us to just drop this suit and tie. Let's have a friendly conversation. Let's talk business as we are in beer parlor. Let's talk business like men, and have a parlor conversation as to what are the advantages and the disadvantage of this policy or that policy, or how did you grow through the ranks in your particular career, or how did you build this Fortune 500 company? What is the story behind the glamour? Because most of the time you go to social media, you see 50,000 likes, 2,000 likes, 100,000 likes on a particular post, from changing one private jet to the next G-Wagon. All about these conversations, there are definitely scars behind the glamour. And that's why we have the Frankly Business Podcast, so that we'll have this conversation as to how they built these Fortune 500 companies, how they've been able to trailblaze different industry. And you know how we do it here. Basically, this particular episode is dedicated to the cryptocurrencies industry, because it's a thriving industry. And knowing fully well that recently, just some few weeks back, the government had to lift the ban as regards cryptocurrency trading in this part of the world, in Nigeria. And it means that the government has come to believe that this industry is one that we can't jettison, and is one that we need to embrace. And just like we always say, if you really don't understand something, one of the best things you can do about that thing is to make sure you pay attention to it, rather than take a chunk of what will contribute some quarter to your economy or to your GDP and place a ban on it because you don't understand it. Bring people in the industry, stakeholders, people who have their skin in the game, bring them into the playing field, and let us find a way how we can meet in the middle. If it's to regulate it, fine, all well and good. That's one of the best ways for you to be able to handle such situation. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening to the cryptocurrencies market. And I've got a man who's got his skin in the game. I would love to call him, a part of his name is my name as well. I'm Frank, he's Franklin. Amazing man, if you ask me. He's done phenomenal job in the cryptocurrency space. He's one of the pioneers. He's one of the I would love to call him the grandfather of cryptocurrencies, because he's young in age. As a matter of fact, when you hear the word grandfather, I don't want you to just think over the roof. He's been able to do a phenomenal job by building a solid startup that they've raised a couple of times. One that I can remember is at least $1.5 million raised in the cryptocurrency space. He's the CEO and the founder of BoundlessPay. No other person than Franklin Peter.
Nice to be here today. So, I mean, while we were doing that introduction, I was about to ask, are you sure? And
I've got Mr. Kelechi Ogoke here. Yeah. He's my co-host. Okay. Amazing guy, doing fantastic things in the business world. He's a business developer and also works with an Australian firm earning foreign currency in this part of the world. If you're earning for FX for Nigeria right now, you're a hot cake, my brother. FX right now, what's the current rate? I
think it's around 1K495.
1K495, black market.
Yeah, black market.
So imagine that. that's a different that's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Because if we're to start that conversation, we're going to spend hours here. It's anyone earning in the FX now is a big deal.
Yeah. True.
It's a big deal. If you're earning in FX now,
So you're a big deal.
That's coming up.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So how's been your journey? Tell us. How's been your journey? We're not going into the glamour now.
Yeah,
Tell
sure.
us how you were soaking Gary.
Oh yeah. I love that part. I love that part of my journey.
Garage.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
we have garages in Nigeria?
Fortunately, or I would say coincidentally, my own story has a garage in it.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
So somehow I feel like if your story doesn't have a garage in it, you need to go back.
Cook up another story.
Yes.
You're
Okay.
the 1%.
Yeah, exactly. You know. So I mean, I'm Franklin Peters, the CEO and founder of BoundlessPay. I also founded Blockchain Vibes.
Yeah,
which
one of
is,
the biggest
yes,
crypto events. we have in this
exactly.
part of the world.
So we do events across the world, in a different level. Last 2 years, I was able to pull in about 11 expatriates to Nigeria. These are big names in the industry globally. Most of them haven't come to Africa before in their life. So I was able to pull them. I'm talking about Da Vinci J15, the guy that told people to buy Bitcoin at $1 in 2011. I was able to bring him live and direct to Nigeria. I was also able to bring Munkal. Munkal is one of the youngest billionaires in the crypto industry. The guy that always does analysis and all that. I was able to bring AM Crypto. I was able to bring Abdullah Han from Asia. I brought a lot of people from Asia. I brought like 11 people. I brought someone from South Africa. I brought someone from Ghana. Shout out to Kwame, Futurist Kwame.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing one. It was the first time and the first of its kind in Africa. Those guys coming over. That's number one. The second one we did last year, I was able to do. I was supposed to have registered for Guinness Book of Record because I broke a record, I would say. And that was at the craze of that whole Guinness Book of Record. Everybody wanted to do a cookathon, dance-a-thon, and every athon.
Yeah.
So I was able to do, me and my team, we did, an event in 3 days in 3 different countries.
Wow.
Same team, same people, different audiences, and we packed out all the halls.
Wow.
3 days. It was like from this country, started from Kenya.
Okay.
Did packed out the venue. It was like one of the biggest of that kind of event in Kenya.
Yeah.
Moved over to Rwanda, did the same thing. I moved to Uganda, did the same thing, shut it down. We got like ghetto kids to dance in the grand
Ghetto
finale.
Kids, yeah.
We got people from Nigeria come over and people from all over the world come to East Africa. For
Shout
that
out to
purpose.
Ghetto Kids, by the way.
Shout out to you guys, yeah. So and it was a big deal
Yeah.
because how do you go from your country to a different domain, 3 different countries, and you shut down events in 3 different days? you didn't have to
That's
do
some
it
level of genius.
exactly.
Yeah.
So somehow I feel like one thing about me is I always try to challenge the norm. I like to push boundaries. That's one thing about me.
But were you pushing boundaries from the start? Like
From the beginning. No, I'm going to go back to it. I'm still introducing myself. We're in the beer parlor, bro.
Yeah.
So and this
Without
year we
the
are
beer, by the way.
exactly without the beer, yeah. So this year I told myself for us to have done that much last year, and I like to break my own boundaries, like so I like to break my own records rather.
Yeah.
So this year we are going to 8 countries in Africa.
Oh wow.
All the 4 regions in Africa: East Africa, West Africa, South Africa, and North Africa.
Yeah.
We are going to in March. I'll soon start talking about it on my social media.
Okay.
Yeah, we've closed down those
You're hearing
venues.
it first
We have
here. You're
over
hearing it
$2
first on the
billion
Franklin Business Podcast.
over $2 billion worth of funding available for startups who are looking to raise funds.
Whoa.
And I'm not joking. We have all the big names, mention them. Big VCs that are coming over for that event, and at the grand finale, people will be able to pitch their projects.
But is it going to be narrowed down to Web3?
No. It's a digital economy, digital entrepreneurs. So
Okay.
it's not much. It has to be
Any
Web3,
solution
yeah.
based,
Any solution,
that's
any
done.
form of solution,
Okay.
anything you are building, as far as it's going to elevate Africa.
And I think that's what Nigerian startups are. That's one of their current challenges now.
Yes.
If we were to say the truth.
Funding.
Funding.
Funding
People
and
don't
one
have
more thing.
access to credit.
Exactly. Yeah. No credit.
No credit.
No funding. Limited funding.
Yeah.
And soft landing is an issue.
When we even say credit, some people might get confused.
Yes.
Investment, nobody to invest in that your idea.
Exactly.
That's what we're
No,
Exactly.
but you know, in the foreign world now, they have something like credit card.
Yes.
So when you say credit, it still applies.
It's still the
to-
same thing.
yeah,
It's still the same thing.
yeah.
Credit is basically you being able to leverage your idea, your whatever you want to do, and get access to cash ahead of that thing manifesting. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
true.
So that's the same thing with credit card. So you have a credit card, you don't have the cash, but you are allowed to spend off that credit card, knowing that you will pay up in the future.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
So if you have an idea, you have a business, you have something that you're doing, and people in America and all those other places, right?
Yeah.
They can leverage that idea even before it manifests, and they will give you access to credit. To have access to, maybe your business requires transportation. They can say, okay, you have 1 year credit. Use this our transportation this thing to grow your business to that point. So we're not giving you cash, but we are giving you credit.
Yes.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Value in kind.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah.
introducing myself. So that's basically what we're doing, but we'll come back to that. Talking about my story. So BoundlessPay, blockchain vibes. I was able to found, COB DAO.
Oh.
Still talk about it. Very interesting. And a couple of other things, education related and stuff. So my journey started off as I was born in a very humble background, like everybody else.
Was those men not born for humble background?
Yes.
Everybody like for humble background.
Imagine the video saying he was born in a humble background.
Wait, define the humble.
Yes.
Okay, my own humble.
yes.
My own humble. Yeah.
It's
My own
in
humble.
traders.
My own humble is that my dad was a trader. He's
Okay.
still a trader, right? My mom, normal civil servant.
Okay.
5 kids in the house.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
You know how
Okay,
that
okay.
little amount,
They are
spread
traders. They are
across 5
traders.
persons.
Yeah,
Peter B
exactly.
is a trader.
But
No, but
Yeah.
I know, public yard
Yes, I
kind
know.
of vibe.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but see where
but
the
mentality-
entrepreneurship spirit comes from.
Do you understand? So
yeah.
you have to hustle. You
Yeah.
have to, change the story. So that kind of background. And funny thing about my own story is that while I was, and I've not said this anywhere before, right?
Wow.
While in primary school, I was a dunce. I was the guy that takes last in the class. Like, not necessarily last. I'm not sure I was ever
But somewhere around the
31.
bottom, sure.
Exactly. So one thing always encouraged me, and that, today I pick a lesson from there, right? I remember when they say, "Oh, you're not doing well. You are 28 out of 29." I tell myself, at least I passed somebody. Bro, that was a big
Yeah.
encouragement. I
Yeah.
just know that I could pass someone.
Yeah, very
That
true.
helped me a whole lot. I remember when one of our teachers told my mom that, take this guy to special needs school, because this guy, I'm not sure he's going to amount to anything.
But I think that's really fundamental. What he just said. I remember listening to Bovi one time. Shout out to Bovi, by the way. And he talked about the fact that the schooling system, we need to address the way our curriculum and the way we handle the schooling system in this part of the world.
Yeah.
There's no reason for position, because you're creating a competitive
Yes.
mindset amongst
Yes.
children from this.
And you make them feel like they can't amount to anything if they are not able to
Exactly.
meet up with that competition.
with that competition. So you're saying, imagine the person who comes bottom in the class,
Yes.
and you're giving them position. You get, and it's also the person is obviously going to be a laughing stock amongst
Exactly.
his colleagues.
Exactly.
It's going to dampen his
Self-esteem.
self-esteem.
Exactly.
So the school system is not. We don't have the solid framework to be able to build a holistic individual
And to be able
from
to
the school,
carry people-
building their self-esteem,
Yeah.
while you're building their academics, building leadership traits, building the fact that even if you fail, you're not a failure.
Exactly.
I don't know if you get my point.
Exactly.
So, do you think that needs to be addressed?
It has to. I mean, I'm a case study.
Position, yeah.
I'm a case study because eventually, as an adult, I realized I had ADHD. You understand? What do you call it? Attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. It's not necessarily a disorder. You can always take advantage of it. But what it means that if, as a kid, if you were not able to, they don't understand that that's the situation. You always don't pay attention to one thing at a time. You understand? Maybe they are teaching in class,
Attention
I'm
span
drawing.
is low.
Yes. So how to solve that stuff? I mean, this is not part of the topic.
Yeah, why
but
not?
how to solve it? Look for what that person pays more attention to and push the person towards that direction.
Oh, wow.
I was always drawing in class. So that stuff they are teaching is important, but this one is more important to me. You understand? So I get distracted. So why don't you now channel me towards the arts? area.
At
You
school.
understand? And stuff like that. And that's what Chinese people do. You see children in primary school, they're already doing carpentry. They're already doing different things. And they start growing towards that
Skill-based
direction.
education.
Yes. And they become really good at it. So nobody is first, nobody is last. Because at everything, people are first at different things.
At the point, there was even a time in this part of the world where we were paying attention to vocational training
But
institutes.
I no longer see that thing
I
again.
don't even see all those things.
Everybody want to go to university.
Now everybody wants
Everybody want right jam.
9 to 5.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
want 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things I've picked out from you, one of my bosses also has ADHD, and she's a fantastic CEO.
Yes.
She's a fantastic CEO. So one of the things I picked out from you is that most of the founders that have I'm looking for the best term, ADHD, they go on to build successful businesses.
Yes.
Successful businesses. So my question to you is, how do you deal at that time, being a young kid in a family of 5, growing up in that same family for myself, there's always comparison.
Yes.
If not with your fellow people,
Exactly.
it's with your neighbor,
Yes.
your cousin,
Yes.
your sister. So how did you deal with that, and how did it fuel you?
I was always having that comparisons.
Yeah.
You can't see your neighbor is doing this, is doing that. And for me, at that point, I couldn't care less. Like it wasn't my problem. My problem is give me pencil and paper and I will draw. So, and again, in primary school, I was very good with English. So I was that if I fail every other thing, I'll get that one A1. Every other thing can be F. But that was just one thing that always put me ahead of other people. So there was always, everybody in that situation would always have 1 or 2 things they are good at.
Yeah,
you understand? But to fast forward it, and I'm still going to answer this question. By the time I got to secondary school, I don't know what just happened. From being last in class, I went to take 8th position. JS1 first. My dad couldn't believe his eyes. He told me, see, if you're able to take first 3, I'll give you my phone. Because then that was one of the most priciest possession. He bought the phone. How much then back in the days?
I remember SIM them used to be
40K, yeah, 50K, yeah.
50K,
Yeah. So he bought the phone, very expensive, Sajem, my X1 or something like that.
I remember those
So he
series.
told me that he was going to give me the phone. And then I did the next term, I took 4th. And there was no 3rd. So apparently the first person, the second person, so in the second position, there were 2 persons that had a tie. So there was no 3rd, I was the 4th. So technically, I was the 3rd. He gave me the phone. You understand? So, and then, somehow my mom, in the civil service, she used to be a typist, and then she then computer and internet started becoming a thing. They started upgrading. So I was always going to her office then. So she would give me one of the PCs there, University of Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
So I would go there. I was always researching and just reading things.
You were around
Exactly.
university, you were around
Yes,
campus.
exactly.
Oh, wow.
Environment.
Yeah.
And I was always seeing people do research. I'd go on Google. Then, and I realized there was something called Cyber Cafe. In my free time, I'll go to Cyber Cafe. I'm researching. I'm doing stuff. So I learned. So my mom now eventually bought a PC for us at home. I was in my JS1 third term. Yes, they bought it. I used some of these CorelDRAW. I did drawings. Building drawings, I would bring it to school. So all those things were giving me an edge. So I was now gradually narrowing my focus on some certain things. So you see that question you asked about when the whole comparisons, how do you? For me then, I did. For me, maybe what helped me is that even till today, I don't see life as a competitive environment. I see life more as a collaborative environment, right? So most of my friends growing up, eventually, it even inspired me. Like the art stuff, one of my very close friend, our neighbor, was very good with drawing. It was from him I got the inspiration to start drawing. I started paying attention to drawing, and I learned it, right? The other guy was good with technical stuff. Right? It has inspired me. I started doing technical stuff. So all those things came together to make me the person I am today. True. So I'm very versatile. By the time I was done with secondary school, I went to IMT, Institute of Management and Technology, Enugu, to study electrical electronics engineering. And then so that what you call it, helped me to develop that aspect of me. right?
That
And while I
tech
was doing that,
aspect,
yes, the technical
yes,
aspect,
technical aspect.
yes. So while I was doing that, I also was privileged to go. My mom took me to AfriHub. I don't know if you heard about, AfriHub.
No.
AfriHub is a computer institute. It used to be very popular in different institutions before.
Now it's CC Hub.
It's now CC Hub. So to cut a long story short,
Yeah.
I got my computer skill there. So while in IMT, my classmates realized that because there was a course called Course 101 or something. So I was helping everybody with the assignments. People were paying me for it. So I was not paying attention to even the electrical aspect. I was more on the electronics, the hardware aspect of it, and the computer aspect of it. So everybody was telling me, go and do computer science, is your field. I moved from there. When I graduated, I went to UNN to do computer science, right? So while in school, with all the knowledge I already had, from my first year in school, I was already doing stuff like that. Final year, the people that I was rapping with were final year students.
Oh wow! Because of your knowledge,
from my knowledge, from everything I had done.
Yeah.
From the computer I was pressing and spoiling and repairing.
Yeah,
so while my classmates were busy coding, were busy learning QBasic and stuff like that, I was already far ahead. I was already doing PHP and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So soon enough, I built my first entrepreneur, because I'm trying to take you through a journey, right? Yeah. Soon enough, I built my first startup. Though I didn't know what a startup was. I just knew that I wanted to do something. So I created a bulk SMS platform.
Wow.
Yes, Ice bulk SMS. And so the funny thing is, as an entrepreneur, your number one job is, number one, build, number two, sell. You understand? Sell. And you need to find a way to learn how to sell. Because different audience have different ways they buy. And you have to speak their language.
I feel that selling is like the lifeblood.
It's the lifeblood, yeah. Yeah, actually.
Because I'm actually selling to people. I'm selling the podcast. I'm selling my voice. I'm selling my personality.
Yes.
We're selling our intellect.
Yeah.
We sell almost every day. You go to the market, you're selling money. Yes, you're selling money to get a particular product.
Exactly.
The person who is selling that product to get money. So in one way or the other, selling is just bringing out your best self to be able to get the value of whatever it is you want. So selling is a non-negotiable skill. It's a life skill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know why people don't like selling.
No, selling. So if you have a business and you can't sell, the business dies.
Very true.
Naturally, it dies. You have to sell. So what did I employ?
Yeah.
And why did I even go for bulk SMS? I asked myself a very simple question. Yeah. I used to have a blog.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of things with the blog, and that was a period I even heard about cryptocurrencies. We are going to get there.
Oh, wow.
So I told...
What year was this? Sorry.
This was in 2013.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was in 2013. So I was in school. I asked myself, before you got here, right? Even while I was in IMT, I was doing some things to make money for myself, right?
Sure.
So I said to myself, I don't want distractions. I want to do well in school, but still, I don't want to depend on my parents. You understand? So what can I do? Blogging was not fast, bringing the money. So
it was more. I think it was Linda Ikeji.
Yes, exactly. She was number one. Yeah, you remember. So I now,
inspired you to blog.
100%. I used that as a case study in most of my sessions when I was teaching people how to blog then.
Okay.
So I was in class one day, and every time some people would be saying, "Oh, class rep, you didn't send messages for you didn't call me, or you didn't tell us that the lecturer won't come." Everybody came all the way to communication was a big problem.
Very true.
But WhatsApp had just started picking up a little, but
and not
everybody had it. It wasn't compatible with a lot of phones. Some people with basic phones still had basic phones.
Nokia 3310.
Exactly, back in the days. So it was not an efficient way of sending stuff. So one day, somebody suggested that, okay, how about we start doing bulk SMS? So he started using bulk SMS. He became efficient. So he came to class one day and he was telling everybody, contribute to 200 naira so we can refill our bulk SMS account.
Oh, wow.
That was when I had the Eureka moment. Said, how about I become the person they are paying this money to? That was it. I went back home, I started researching, and I found a way to create one. You understand? In collaboration with an existing one. So I would use their API, and then I'll have my own front. You understand? So long story cut short, I sold my laptop, sold my phone. That was my first. So as an entrepreneur, one of the key things you also need to do is take risks, right?
True.
I took that risk, built the platform. How did I say? I went to my class rep and I told him that there is this bulk SMS platform I just found. It is cheaper than the one you are talking about, and it is faster.
Wow.
I can link you to the owners. I gave him to the link to the website. I asked him, before I told him that, I asked him, which one do you use? He mentioned. I went and did the research, found how much they charge, and I made my own a little cheaper.
Yeah.
You understand? And I sold it to him.
Price war.
Yes. And I told him, see, you don't need to be stressing yourself to be collecting money. I'll take the job from you. So every week I'm in front of the class. He said, I've donated my own 200 naira. Everybody donate your own. There's no time. People will donate. They'll send the money to my sister's account. They don't know who they are sending money to. And from there, I'll refill the bulk SMS platform. And you know, in every business, there's business.
Yeah, true.
When I started doing that stuff, and I realized that whenever people use the platform to send bulk SMS, right, the database is there recorded. The message they sent and the phone numbers and the names of the people, depending.
As
I said, okay, business is here. I'm not making money from the fees because I'm already giving discounts. So I'm literally just doing it for free so that I can gather. I said, okay, I even made it even more cheaper, whereby I was using my money to top up so that I can get more attention. I became the cheapest bulk SMS platform in the Southeast. Yes, I became the cheapest.
What was your the numbers of total users?
Then my users started increasing. I started getting customers from Calabar, from Anambra, from especially universities. I got the whole, I may not be able to give numbers, right? But at least 80% of UNN's database was in my platform. Because I started recruiting people to go and talk to class reps and faculty presidents. Salespeople. Yeah. To go and talk to faculty presidents that they should use the bulk SMS and they will get a discount. So almost the whole department started using my platform. From second year, I influenced, and my shout out to let me not mention their names, but SCG presidents in 2014, 2015, I influenced the elections. And the one in 2015 in Unizik, I influenced it from UNS.
So INEC. I was INEC.
So I had a very strong bargaining power. I have the database of the school, so I could spread propaganda. Everybody will get message in 1 second. Yeah. So the day of election, I'll send one message. Everybody will vote for one person.
Wow.
You understand? and I made bulk of the money there. You understand? Yeah. So it's business. You have to understand. Soon enough, in my second year, I realized that almost everybody, started understanding the whole development stuff. Yeah. I switched over. I built Eyes Metro. So the first one was Eyes Bulk SMS. I had Eyes Blog, and then I had Eyes Metro. Eyes Metro was a web hosting platform. Okay. So most of my classmates that now knew how to design websites, instead I used the same model. I told them, hey, you built your stuff on local host. How about I help you to launch it on the web host? So which one do you use? I use Eyes Metro. So anyone I'm using, everybody wants to use it because I became quite popular in school. Yeah. So they started patronizing me without knowing I was the one. You understand? So, but that was a anonymity, yeah, because again, you have to understand your market. Competition and envy could prop up if they know he's your classmate that's doing all those things. Yeah.
Again, rather use somebody that is more
someone
expensive.
Else, yes. Because they may also not trust you. They may think that what do you know?
Capacity. Yeah. True.
You understand? So in sales, you have to know your audience. It's not the same way I sell to him that I'll sell to you. I'll look at you. I will know your personality. I'll profile you, and then I'll sell to you based on what I know you need.
Yeah, very true.
Exactly. So, cut a long story short, that was the period. That period, I started understanding crypto, getting into the industry. I was part of a network marketing company as well. Okay. That same period, e-business network international. Okay. That was where I learned leadership. I learned sales. I learned. That was where I also heard about crypto. I started hearing more about crypto and stuff like that. Okay. And today is history. I mean.
Oh my goodness. So what would you say? How has been your journey so far in the crypto space? You learned about it, and you grew through the ranks, and you were able to build a startup, it takes you really understanding a particular industry before
Yes.
you even build.
Yes.
Because at first it always follows this trajectory where you're first a consumer. When you become a consumer, you now an early adapter.
Yeah.
When you become an early adapter, you transition to become a builder. And then when you become a builder, you become a consultant.
Yeah.
And when you become a consultant,
Yeah.
you now become an investor. You
Yes.
get so you know that sometimes that trajectory. So how did you grow through the ranks of becoming an early adapter, a consumer, an early adapter, and also becoming a builder?
Yes. Okay. So the first was as an adapter.
Yeah.
First, I heard about it, right? Secondly, I started. I became a user.
Okay.
You know. So how did I become a user? There was a platform. It was like an MLM and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I bought my first Bitcoin. Transacted with it, and I had this eureka moment again where I had helped someone to do a transaction. I think it was a year prior to then. This was in 2014, thereabout, right? Or 2015.
Yeah.
So a year prior to then, 2013, I helped someone to send money to China through MoneyGram.
Okay.
It was hectic. And we were charged, I can't remember the figure, but I think about 18% of the total amount that we were trying to send was the fee. And it took like 2 weeks before the person could get the money. Tracing it was a headache because you don't have access to the database. Whatever you call the bank, they tell you it has been sent, is on the way. You only have to trust the bank until you eventually see the money. So the business was made. What he wanted to pay for, he paid late. He had to pay, accrue demurrage and all those things. So when I now did a transaction, a massive transaction, also helping somebody to send money.
Okay.
You understand? To the same China. That was when I remember there was a time I did a transaction almost, to the same China. And this time around, we could track it with a transaction hash. The person could receive it in seconds. And I paid less than $1 for the transaction fee. I say, wow, I've got it. In fact, in my head then, I had to move fast before every other person starts. When you get an idea, you want to move fast. So it wasn't long. I now launched, my first e-commerce platform. First of all, the goal was to build a remittance platform. What I'm doing now has always been the goal.
Oh, wow.
You understand? Yes. So to build a remittance platform, payments and stuff like that. But then I was just coming from an MLM platform that was mostly e-commerce based.
True.
Yeah. So I said, okay, let me start with this. It's my industry, do this stuff, get people to use it, use Bitcoin. So it was called Bit for Value. So Bitcoin for Value. They changed Bitcoin for Value. So that was the goal, to have as many people as possible, understand crypto, spend their crypto for value. So eventually, as is the norm for Nigerians, when they come to a platform and they see an MLM aspect to it, they focus more. No, in that era was MLM era.
Oh, wow.
Everybody, it was a turn on for everybody.
Okay.
Then you remember MLM era, GNLD, Organo Gold. Forever. It was a turn on then. It's now that it's a turn on. Exactly. It was a cycle. It was a turn on. Exactly.
Lying was hard. He just keeps going.
So that was the era.
Bring 70 naira and in 2 days you get 40 billion.
So I had the MLM touch too. So everybody came in, they abandoned the e-commerce aspect of it and focused on the MLM. Everybody was inviting their friend. There's a platform you will make money. This one.
Did they know you?
Yeah.
You didn't know you were the
Of
one
course,
involved?
of course now.
Okay.
Of course. So I'm the, I was like, pushing it, and everybody were doing it. So even my attention now went to how do I sustain this MLM aspect to keep, MLM, it gets to a point where it saturates. You understand? But aside from that, what messed up the business was when, because everything was done in Bitcoin. So one day I woke up in the morning, I was in Nasarawa for a conference where I was going to talk to people about the business. And I slept with a full portfolio, and I woke up, I saw 60% down. That was the first Bitcoin dump I experienced personally. Wow. Crash. So market went like 60% down. So what I had was same volume of Bitcoin, but the
value
value is no longer. So how do I sustain all these people? How do I pay? How do I do all these things? So I was like in a dilemma, and every other day people are withdrawing, they are cashing out. But the amount you have is no longer able to do all those things. So because it's MLM, people are contributing to the same pool and all that. So what then happened eventually was me going to research for how to grow the money. You understand? We started doing so somebody invited me to a mining platform.
Okay.
I invested in that mining, and it took the rest of the money. So mining is not bad, it's not wrong, but then I had limited knowledge.
Oh, but do we have the capacity to mine
in Nigeria? No,
because we don't even the amount we generate, the amount of power we generate in this country
cannot
even mine 1 Bitcoin.
Yes,
because it takes
a lot of power.
Yes,
but I believe
so. When people are coming out with all these, come and mine your Bitcoin. We have
this one was they called this one cloud mining. So it was literally just a website set up to collect people's money, and I did not know.
Oh wow!
You understand? So that took the whole money, and then I now put the rest of the money I had in one coin called TBC. I don't know if you heard about TBC. The billion coin now messed up the whole this thing. Yeah. So the business literally crashed out of. But again, that was my first experience in that terrain.
True.
We are talking about the journey, right? And that was when, again, to cut the long story short, I went from that level to my garage story. Literally, I moved to Port Harcourt, and one of my mommies, who was also an investor, but we always helped me out in that situation. She took me in. She had to vacate her garage, converted the garage to a room. You understand? And that was where I stayed for a good part of 1 year. That period, I think I lost my self-confidence because I was always thinking, how do I go about it? I sold all my property to pay people, though. I sold everything.
Then
sold my car.
Made money, acquired properties.
Yeah. So I sold everything to be able to pay off people, and
from that MLM platform.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and then to cut the long story short, it took a year plus for me to gradually get back to myself. It was a journey, and that was the period Blockchain Oracle was birthed. I used to be, remember, Icebox SMS, Ice Metro, Ice Trends. If you search any of these names, you'll still see them online today. In fact, I still get calls from people say, hello, and you offer this service, So I started studying. I said, why did I fail in my first venture? The bulk SMS one, when I started doing the MLM, I had to give out that platform.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, so it's no longer there. So, but why in my first major venture, which is a registered business, I registered it Nigeria, UK, had partners. That's the e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
How did I get into this mess? Like, I just realized then that knowledge, you have to study, get deeper into the industry, understand how things work. Again, it wasn't my fault because I was also trying to research, but then there was little or no information online about crypto.
Yeah,
today it's everywhere.
But sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
You remember you shared me something 2 days ago from somebody on Twitter called the building phase of a man, that every man has to have his building phase.
Yes.
Yours could be 12 months, yours could be 24, 36 months, but it's when you retract from people, go into your shell and just figure it out, and before you push on harder. I think when you went to Port Harcourt, that was your building phase.
That was my building phase.
And that's you going back to your shell and having a conversation that just rewires you for the next journey of your life with better blockchain oracle.
Exactly.
So this is just a confirmation that it works.
It works.
It does work.
It does work.
It does work. So it's.
I think in the religious books, in the Bible, it's even called the Cave of Adullam. When, remember, before David was able to fight Goliath, Goliath was like his biggest battle. It was like his biggest break, by the way, before he became a king. He had phase where in secret place he was fighting the lion, right? He was fighting the bear, and he was building capacity for Goliath. And so when he saw Goliath, he was like, I don't kill lion. You be small boy for you. I don't. So we always have that building that building
Yes,
will go back
yes.
to our inner.
Exactly. Even this guy, I think even Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs,
Yeah.
Most of them had that moment as well.
Yeah,
you
there was
know,
yeah.
I think there was one of them traveled to India.
Yeah, to India
to take some
to be like a
time.
monk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You will always find yourself in that situation.
Because what I brought it up is that for young people going out there, for the Gen Zs, the millennials, that you might be in your building phase, but I think the power is for you to understand that this is the phase I am in right now.
Exactly.
And be patient with yourself.
Exactly.
So you don't gotta give it a name, it's not.
Yes.
So your
village
Give me
people.
that name.
Village people.
Give me that name.
I mean, my
depressed,
building
I'm
phase
depressed.
is better that I am depressed.
Yes.
And if you're in your building
Suffering
phase,
from mental health. Like, it's so,
I'm in
like,
mental health as well. So
true.
if you're in your building phase, understand that I'm in my building phase. And if you're in that building phase, be patient with yourself.
Very true.
Be patient with yourself. Don't lose yourself. It's so easy to lose yourself in that period. But please go on. I want to understand where
How I got
blockchain oracle, where you go. I want to understand the whole
Yes,
story.
yes.
Please
So those studies, I now understood the intricacies of the industry. You know, I researched, I read. That period I was having because of too much thinking and not sleeping. Because that period I was, thinking of how do I get out of this situation. And
Were you also in debt in that period?
of course.
Oh, wow.
Yes, of course. So while thinking of all these things and how do you get out of all these things, I wasn't sleeping. So I don't know what they call it, insomnia. It was, not insomnia. There was this other word. I was having memory loss.
Oh.
That was
Amnesia.
the word. Amnesia.
Yeah.
Yes, I was having amnesia. So that when I stand up to an audience to address an audience, you better listen. I went to IMSU and I shut down the whole school. In 3 months, everybody knew me. I was in UNN and I was trending in Unizik.
Wow.
During my MLM period. I had over 45,000 persons in my structure in the MLM business. I made my first millions in the stuff.
Wow.
Again, even that business, because as an entrepreneur, our lifeblood is building, is solving problems.
True.
So if I was dependent on, if I was about the money, I wouldn't have gone ahead to build anything because I already made money. At 23, I was already made, like at that level. You understand? But as a tech person, I wanted to continue building. That was why I ventured into that stuff. So studying all those things and getting to understand the future of this stuff, and I had an uncommon insight to blockchain that I could break it down to you as a newbie, and you will become a professional that same day. Like I will explain it to you. You will meet other professionals that never met me, and you can explain it better than them. You understand better than them. So that was when I got the name Blockchain Oracle. So I evolved. So from there to building my first, so I was in that garage when I betted my first, my second startup, BitFXT, right? BitFXT was an exchange. So the goal was to have something that was 2017, 2018, right?
Oh, 2017.
Yeah, 2018,
Okay.
yeah. So to have a platform that would be, you know what Binance is now?
Okay, yeah.
There was no Binance when I betted.
So it's more or less like banks for cryptocurrencies.
Banks for
Those are
cryptocurrencies.
that's what we call exchanges.
Exactly,
Where
exchanges.
you can change your Bitcoin to Ethereum, to Solana, or
Yes.
to USDT and cash out.
Yes.
Okay.
So the platforms that was available then only allowed people. See, I don't know when you started trading. I started trading with Bitrex, one exchange back in the days.
My first encounter with cryptocurrency, I think it was Ethereum.
Okay.
When somebody told me about Forsage.
Forsage,
I don't know if you
okay.
remember
I know
that
Forsage.
So I
Yes.
think that was 2018.
Yes.
I bought Ethereum at $20-something.
Okay.
And it became $120.
Yes.
I was like, hey,
What's going on?
Daniel.
Who is adding money to my wallet?
Daniel.
Yeah. So most platforms then like Bitrex, Polynex, and other platforms then that we were using to trade, especially Polynex, then only had BTC pairs. So BTC was the parent pair against any other coin. So you want to trade Ethereum, you trade it against BTC. There was no stable coin. There was no USDT. Yes. It was eventually started introducing stable coins gradually. It was BTC that was the major pair. So Now you have to explain to someone what blockchain is, what the crypto is. Then the person will now have to buy Bitcoin to now be able to buy Ethereum. It was and then you are trading, you are making profit. You don't understand if you are in profit or in loss.
Loss.
So when you see the 0.0 something, 0.0 something, started with 0. something, you now have 0. something. So I said, I'm going to create a platform that would have, Naira pairs. So you can use Naira and trade against BTC directly.
So you'll be able to monitor your growth and see the value in Naira.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can get in with the Naira directly, you can trade directly, and you can cash out directly. So that was the goal. And we started building it. So while in the garage, that was a period I kept on working on it. So, but most people out there, some people, when they hear these stories, they're like, when did all these things happen? Because even in the garage, nobody knew. Like, it was just me, the people around me that knew the situation, right? And of course, but on social media, I would still post positive things.
The glamour.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I always post positive things. So, you don't judge people by what you see on social media. It's all facade. You understand? You can't judge them. So
you can't put your worst foot out there.
Exactly. So again, because of the branding I already had and the branding I was building, I couldn't just put anything negative out there. So even while there, people would send me messages to help them. Someone that is living in their own house, driving their own car, they send me one day, please, I need 5,000. You understand?
Yeah, going through a lot.
Yeah, and I couldn't even explain, So we launched BitFXT. Okay. Right? BitFXT went live. We started building from scratch eventually. So we went live for the first time 2019.
Okay.
2018 ending, then 2019. Okay. So it went live 2018, sorry.
Okay.
So 2018 into 2019, we still had people for that call. People were registering. I was flying to Lagos here to do conferences and to speak to maybe investors and back to Port Harcourt. And eventually, I decided to move to Lagos. My first experience in Lagos, I will never forget it. Though that was not the first time I was coming. I had come to Lagos. I had been to Lagos a lot of times before then, but this particular one was when I was coming to now stay in Lagos. Yeah, okay. So I told myself, I know like I had so much, I didn't have anything. You understand? I only had money for 3 days hotel stay and my flight money. So I went to the airport, came to Lagos. I stayed in Festac, one hotel in Festac. So remember, I only had 3 days worth of money.
Yeah.
I was hoping to now find my Uncle Suru. Uncle Suru. Okay. So yeah, I'll be very fast now.
Yeah.
So I was going to have a meeting with some people.
Okay.
So I came down, took a cab. On my way, I hadn't gone too far from my hotel.
Okay.
And some police people, that was the heat of SARS. They stopped us and then took me to bank, took all the money I had with guns. Took all the money I had. These police people, really. You understand? It's saying now, took all the money I had, so I was empty. Well, God came through for me. I don't know what happened that night. I woke up in the morning, got a message from somebody. Can you do this for me? How much? I charged him $5,000. He paid immediately.
Wow.
So God just wanted to teach me something and help me. Yeah. So fast forward, BoundlessPay, BitFXT was there. We did well. We had a very nice run for like 4 years. Up until when we were ready to really expand. All of a sudden, Binance was all over the place. OKX was all over the place. VOP was all over the place. I'm talking about big exchanges. They now came to Nigeria. I'm coming. They were all over the place, and they had a better version of what we were offering.
Oh wow!
They had the money, they had the tech. They could. So then a lot of the upgrades were coming on Bitcoin and everything. They could do their own fast. Our own would take 6-7 months because I have to save up money, pay my developers and all that. So I had to now start looking for funding. Right? So I started looking for funding. Eventually, we had an offer from a UK investment firm.
Okay.
They want to invest. How much? $15 million.
15
M. Yes. So $3 was going to be the actual investment. The rest would be like capital, revolving capital for futures and so many other things. You understand? So I got my lawyers involved. We got the agreement, the initial letter of intent signed. Had other meetings, had series of meetings, So we were on our way, and then COVID-19 struck. We found ourselves. I was in a Transcorp Hilton when that happened, so we were locked in Transcorp Hilton. So I spent most of my COVID-19 period inside Transcorp Hilton.
You paid,
so we were paying. So one of my friends that was the one that linked us up to the investor. Okay. He's a Yankee guy, so he was paying almost 500K. And I was like, but then eventually they reduced the price because I mean it's not our fault that they locked us in. So they brought everything down drastically. So we were having those conversations, and there was this document that when my lawyer saw it, said, "How come? When did you sign this? I didn't see it." So then I thought we've signed letter of intent, we signed MOU, we signed even before we signed one particular one. The VC firm put out an announcement publicly that they have invested in us.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah. And do you know the side effect of that?
Yes.
Everything goes through the roof when you are
exactly.
that PR goes out. If you are recruiting, if you are going to pay 1 million,
they will charge you 10. You know the story. That was actually, to be sincere, that contributed 80%.
All your vendors with 2x your
yes.
2x.
Yeah. That contributed to 60% the reason why we had to let go of that particular venture and evolve.
But it's good you are sharing this because it's a conversation that we don't bring out on the mainstream. Like this raising of money and the money not getting to the people and the announcement going out. It's happening. It's not just
some announcement that even lies, pure lies.
Lies.
They didn't raise anything. They just formed and branding.
Yes.
No, not just branding.
No, but apart from that, this one about VCs taking advantage of founders.
Yes.
Because in every industry, there are the good players and the bad players.
Yeah.
This particular one, tomorrow, I wouldn't say because everything was clean. We saw the document, saw everything, had the whole agreement. But why did you put out the announcement without us signing the final agreement? Mm-hmm. So that puts me in a very tight corner, first of all.
Did they send the PRO release to your team to evaluate?
Bro, I woke up in the morning on 14th of... When was that? February. I can't remember the exact day. And I was getting congratulatory messages. Woo. Woo. I mean, like, what? People are congratulating me. People are calling me from everywhere. It was buzzing all over the place. In the industry, everybody was carrying it. Bro, I opened one of the WhatsApp group, our industry WhatsApp group. Thousands of messages. I tagged me, the tag with my name. Plenty. So what's going on? Missed calls.
Your team didn't check the press release.
So by the time that it came to us at the same time, you understand? So the message was they have funded, they have invested in Nigerian startup Beat FXT to do this, do that.
$3 million.
$15 million. Yes.
And no penny got to your hand.
Not one kobo.
Oh my goodness.
So
what was the mood of your staff?
Everybody was excited now. Even me. First of all, I was puzzled at the speed. And then I was like, okay, I'm also excited. I'm joining you people in the excitement, you know? Yes, of course. They call me to congratulate me. And I appreciate the congratulation. And, so, like you said, our user base skyrocketed. Okay. Everybody downloaded the app. Everybody registered. We had 10x the original users volume.
So that's more or less like a blessing in disguise.
And a curse at the same time. Because if you are not prepared, I was in a podcast some days back. I was talking about how to be competitive, how to dominate in a competitive landscape. You understand? Bro, somebody asked a question, in terms of scaling, right? How do you know when to scale? And is it good to scale fast? I said, bro, how do you know when to scale? When you are prepared for scaling. If you are not prepared for scaling, don't scale. You will die. You just kill yourself. That was an unprepared scale. Number one, the load on your server would increase, so you have to pay more for your server. And if you are not earning as much as that, remember, 90% of the people that register on your platform may not be your users. They will register, they will occupy your database, but 10% may be your actual users. That will become converted users. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
So then gradually you can now start working on the others. There are so many apps you have in your phone. You never opened it. That's the truth.
True.
You understand? So it's a 10% principle.
True.
So we had that load. We were not getting the revenue. So me now, so okay, bro, give us, you've put out PR, give us money to expand our server and do all this. No one kobo was given to us. For server, for everything. Yeah. So eventually we were there, and at some point I started really getting depressed. Like I knew I was getting into that point where my staff, everybody thought that we actually raised money. How do you explain to people? Because I was the one, you know, and my lawyer and a few compliance team members understood really what happened. But you don't want to put it out there that you've not received the money yet, so that it doesn't scatter the whole vibe and everything. So we were agreeing to everything, hoping that the money is coming. You understand? So both the staff members and everybody, you are telling them, relax, something is coming.
Yeah.
Now, the whole money that I had in my hand now starts going into server maintenance, so that at least the platform doesn't shut down. How can you say that you raise fund and then your website is down? That one is the worst thing that will happen. So I had to trade paying staff and all those things to keeping the platform and keeping developers. That same period, as more users were coming, more scammers and hackers were coming to hack the platform, penetration, attack, all those things.
What you're saying in essence is, once you raise, you get all the attention.
Yes.
All attention.
Yeah, so you have to be prepared.
Good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes.
Attention for users.
Yes.
Attention for generating lead, your funnels.
Exactly.
Attention for branding. Everybody
partnership.
wants to do business
Everybody
with you.
wants to partner
and if
with
you've
you.
not built the capacity for you to be able to handle such attention.
Yeah.
And building capacity also, if you've not even gotten the money,
Yeah.
it might just fall like a pack of cards.
Exactly. That's what happened. So we grew to that point, and
Yeah.
then that moment I kept pushing. Okay, we need extra fund. We need fund. Okay, you're funding us this amount. Okay, bring us $50K, $100K. Let's keep the server running.
Yeah.
Let's pay staff. Let people not think that this thing is, it did not come. So everybody started dropping off, employees and everybody. I was left alone. I could no longer handle it.
So
I
you
said,
shut down.
bro, I called my lawyer. No, not then. I called my lawyer. I'm calling off this funding. You understand? It was the worst, not the worst, it was the best decision I ever made in my life. That's number one. Number two, it was the most difficult decision to make at the same time. You understand? So I told, one of the stuff in the document was going to restrict me if I was going to, continue with them. You know, it was going to restrict me from building anything else that can compete with theirs. Or for 10 years, I have to work with them for a period of time. All those
signed
things
already?
also, that particular one I already signed. So I had to get my lawyer. We found a way, you know, and unroped ourselves from it. And eventually, I backed out. Now, that was another big challenge, because I came back to Lagos with nothing, not even sure where I was going. No employees, nobody in the
already hype on you.
There was huge hype. There was huge hype all over the place.
Like
so when you see me, that's the worst place to be. If I didn't commit suicide that period, it's because I don't believe in suicide. I don't believe in depression personally.
Yeah.
So my mind never went that direction. But
if you're a Gen Z,
yes. Most people in that situation would find themselves
Very true.
doing stuff like that. So now, by the time I got back to Lagos, I was my own software engineer. I was my own support. I was my marketing person.
Yeah.
I was my everything at the same time. So I managed. Eventually partnered with a white label platform that now gave us their own solution. So we switched over to their own. Soon enough now, CBN now made an announcement that what do you call them? That banks
they placed the ban.
Yes, on crypto, that banks should no longer work with. And the infrastructure we had created had a lot to do with banking APIs.
By the way, I remember that I remember the day I met you.
Yes.
I was inside a suit store.
Yes.
I went to get suits. And funny enough, I was having a shoot in that suit store at Idumota.
Yes.
I saw him and his friends. We got talking. I knew he was there. And he was heading for Dubai
that same day. Yes.
And that was the season that CBN banned cryptocurrency.
Yes.
And he was moving to Dubai, moving his entire company.
Yeah, I moved everything.
Moved operations to Dubai.
Yes.
And I was like, this is how we literally lose entrepreneurs, and this is how we lose
talent goes.
Yes.
Because once we don't have friendly policy, we don't have an enabling environment, businesses can't thrive.
Yes.
What is the next thing to do? You go to the next available place.
Yes.
What's happening to the health sector? A lot of them moving. Now I even heard that the government had to shut down the server that issues the license to nurses as of yesterday.
So they stop them from moving?
So that it's just a subtle way of stopping them from moving. What do you expect?
Come up with policies that work.
Do you get?
Stop all
You
this.
can't restrict people. They have 2 legs. And the borders are, even if you like put fence on your borders, they find a way to leave your country. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah.
That's what's happening to a lot of industries in this part of the world.
So someone said that the word is not even immigration. That the word is escape. People escaping.
Yeah.
Yes, people escaping. Open the borders and tell people in 24 hours, stay or leave. Nigeria will be empty. Okay. So from there, we now said, okay, we have the competitors. We can't fight against them. I tried to raise funds to be able to fight this competition. It didn't work out because I had to back out from that funding, right? So now what do I do next? Every entrepreneur, you're a builder, always find a way to pivot. You see, pivoting, a lot of companies that have died could have survived.
Innovator
Okay, how do we not just oppose that with never give up? They always say, "Maybe we no give up.
Yes.
We no give up. More we no give up. More we no give up." Yes, sometimes. Are you saying that sometimes you need to give up?
No, did I give up?
To the next?
No.
Like
when you move on to the next thing,
give
instead of
up
not giving up, no.
Okay.
Pivoting means you are in the same industry, you are solving the problem this way. You think, how about I solve it this way? You are still doing the same thing, but you are taking a different approach. So I didn't give up on BoundlessPay, on BitFXT. I only found a different way to do it. Okay, help people buy crypto with Naira pairs, cash out in Naira, deposit in Naira. What are we doing in BoundlessPay? Same thing, but different way. Instead of now having an order book exchange like Binance, I can't compete against Binance without money. You understand? Then create a new, like a fintech app that doesn't have to have order books, but you can still buy and sell and trade crypto.
You make that your core.
Yes, that's the core. So I'm no longer focusing on the order book. I'm now focusing on still the same thing, but just remove some aspects of it.
You know the aspect of these big corporations and the rest is that they have so many products that they don't have a core.
Yes.
That's where the small startups come in.
Survive, yeah.
So if you come in and say, I make this my core, and once you need this, you can always come to me for that.
Yeah.
It helps you build your own market for that product.
So niche market, right?
Yeah.
Niche market.
Yeah.
Because once you go big, like for Instagram, they will have to work on their likes, reels, everything. But somebody can just come in and just this is a platform that you just share is TikTok.
Yes, TikTok.
And it took them off the market.
Exactly.
They have to go to the status school.
So I feel like maybe you listen to my last podcast, my podcast. Because this what you said now is exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. Focus on one particular thing. Like again, the topic was dominating in a competitive landscape market. When you come to the marketplace, there are people that build different things, right? Your big competitors, don't see them as a competitor. Leverage on what they have, leverage on their marketing. They have spent marketing money. They have tilled the ground for you because people now know that something like this can exist. But find one of there's something called SWOT analysis. Your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Look at their strength, leverage on it. Look at their weakness, pick it up as a use case and build it, right? Leverage on their marketing, use it as an opportunity, you understand, and build. And you see people will have those big corporations mobile app, they will still have your own. Because, while I'm enjoying this one, let me focus on this one because it's helping me. For instance, there is First Bank and there's Carrywise, there's PiggyVest. Why will I have PiggyVest and Carrywise in my phone? No, when I say have,
there's First Bank and there's OP.
And there's still OP.
People use First Bank for other things. And people use OP for other things.
Should I tell you something about Money Point?
Yeah.
In 2023, they did $150 billion worth of transaction. I did not say 150 billion naira.
People don't know how big this is.
$150 billion worth of transaction in 2023.
Yes.
And 5 billion transactions was done on that platform. 5 billion transactions.
Okay. But there was still the normal institutional banking system.
Yes. Normal institutional banking system. So where did $150 billion come from? Where did 5 billion transactions come from? That's a lot of.
That's a lot of
transaction. That's a lot of.
So it shows something that if you are building, the fact that someone comes in and play like the first mover advantage on the market doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
it helps you.
It helps you.
Bro, if you go and do it, sorry to cut you. If you become that first mover, you've got to have a lot of money. Because you are coming to a place where first mover means you are the first.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody knows about this thing and the possibilities.
So somebody with much more money can come in and invest.
So that person comes in, invests in education and awareness, does everything. You are coming to reap that awareness because everybody there now knows what you are coming to
just
do.
find your own USP.
Just find your USP and leverage on it.
Okay, so moving on now, right now. It's now we have you have built BoundlessPay, we have built blockchain vibes. Tell us, building a startup in Nigeria. Tell us, how's it been so far?
I mean, my journey and my stories is enough to explain to you, bro. Everything is fighting you. Village people, government, government is, bro, unstable policies can kill businesses. A lot of things, can kill businesses. You know, disbelief, because Nigerians, that's another big problem. Nigerians don't believe in Nigerians. You're a startup, you come up with an idea, you are doing something, people they don't care.
I was talking to a friend recently and I was like, go see this movie, A Tribe of Judah. And the friend was famsing under the fact that I don't watch Nigerian movie, I watch only foreign
And he's
movie.
proud of it.
And you are proud of it?
But I think one thing that I've been able to glean from the music industry is that they changed that narrative.
Yeah.
Gone are those days when we always feel like, oh, I only listen to Tupac, 50 Cent. And I only
But the
listen
West
to...
accepted it first before we did.
Exactly.
So
it
takes the West to validate your idea before the Nigerians.
But it shouldn't be so, bro.
Validate the idea.
Do you understand?
The West accepted it
Yes.
first.
When Afrobeat, where is the
I
first
think it's not
place?
a Nigerian thing, because if we look at around the world, people would always wait for outsiders to validate you before they start validating whatever it is you're doing. I think it's. Do you think it's a Nigerian thing? I don't think it's a Nigerian thing.
I think, I know. I know that part of the Bible that said that a prophet is not valued in his hometown.
Yeah,
I understand that. That's the truth, right? But then again,
because they feel that I know you.
Yes.
We are inside
what can you offer?
What can you offer?
You know, so it's a big challenge. So whether we see it as a global phenomenon or a Nigerian thing, right? It's part of the battles you have to fight. In the startup landscape as a builder. You have to be able to get validation however you can, whether from foreigners. That's why most companies, even your neighbor, can be building, doing well. You don't care what he's doing. But the day you hear that he just raised funds from A16Z or this thing, a Sequoia Capital.
Oh, it's always Sequoia.
Yeah, you start trusting him. You start believing in him. Okay. I always knew you, bro. Yeah, man.
No, but should I tell you something? I feel I will not accept the fact that it's a global thing, because the global world is not dealing with poverty the way we are dealing with poverty.
Sure. True.
And we need capitalism to take ourselves from poverty. Anybody telling you that socialism works is lying to you, because the government cannot take care of everybody.
I agree.
And we need capitalism. So I will be proud to give you my money for you to give me a product than go and give a foreigner I don't know, because my money will help you employ people, take people out of poverty. That's how you take people out of poverty. So I'll be happy to walk into a store that you sell products, pick up those products, than go give, let me order from Shein.
Yeah.
But what's up? We have local tailors that can compete with Shein.
Yeah.
But people pride themselves in ordering from Zara, ordering from Shein, and the next thing they say, dollar has gone up. But are you spending the naira enough?
Are you helping the situation?
Are you helping the situation? And we can say the global landscape is like that, but ours is different because we are competing with hunger.
True.
So giving that next person money, making sure the money goes round, is supposed to be everybody mindset in this country.
Sure.
Okay, so Mr. Franklin, now to buy a property, an average property in this country, you need at least 20 million to buy an average property.
Where?
Not landed property. I say at least. Yes, there are properties you can get for 20 million. Actually, you can build You can build a 2-bedroom. You can. I'm just giving you a classic example.
I'm not sure.
Okay, there are places where you can actually.
In
I'm
Lagos,
sure, yes, I'm sure about that.
Lagos.
Yes, you can actually build a property for 20 million.
Lagos.
Bro,
Wait,
where are you coming from?
Listen to me. Yes, you can build a property for 20
How much is the
million.
land?
Wait, how much is the land?
material?
There are places where you can buy land 10 million.
Then you use 10
10
million.
million to
Yes, you can use 10 million. to
Bro, it's not correct.
You
We'll
can use 10
continue.
million.
No, don't worry. How much is cement today?
You can use them. Listen, now.
Frank,
I'm going
now.
to- yes.
How much is the cement today?
Cement for a bag of cement, 5K.
It's 7,000 today.
Okay, so 7,000. You can actually use 10 million to build a property in this country.
Continue.
Yes,
No,
yes,
it's
it is
wrong.
possible.
No, but continue.
Fact check me. There
Yeah.
are people who can do it. You get. It doesn't have to be ostentatious. You can build a structure and build it.
Are you sure it's not
something
marketing gimmick?
Wait now. So the reason why I said that is
Yeah.
that with 20 million, that's the least you can use. I stand to be corrected. Somebody who's working a 9-to-5 job, earning 100K, how many years do you think that person will have to save to be able to achieve the least property you can afford in our present economy? I'm going somewhere, and you need minimum of 20 years. Sometimes our parents work 35 years and they're not able to even build in this
In
day
their
and
life-
age,
in their lifetime.
And so the idea of financial freedom still becomes an unattainable goal for a lot of people. They're not able to achieve that in their lifetime. They outsource it to their kids. Using the 9-to-5 system, how much do you want to earn? There are people earning a fortune, but only a few. I don't know if you get my point. And the universities keep on dishing out graduates every now and then. Do you think that cryptocurrencies in this day and age is a way out of poverty and is a way to attain financial freedom?
Yes, 100%. Cryptocurrency, if you take it out of the picture, in this country, a lot of families will be going hungry daily. Most families are thriving because there's at least one person in their family that has found a way to employ himself, either trading or leveraging crypto. Yes, because it has even helped Nigerian economy. You know why? Crypto people earn in dollars. So as they earn the monies in dollars, this stuff that is happening is not necessarily is affecting them, but somehow they have hedged their money, a good portion of their money. So it is an industry that has evolved over the years. There are so many ways you can work in crypto. It mustn't be trading.
Okay.
It can be whatever you know how to do. It can be broadcasting, and you can still leverage crypto. It can become crypto can be your niche of broadcast, whereby you can reach out to companies like mine and a couple of other ones and say, okay, we're having this program.
Crypto content creators.
You are crypto content creators,
creators.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then they pay you in crypto. You can earn in crypto. You're a graphic designer. We need such kind of people.
Better
to employ
update
them.
from here.
So there are stuff like that, and there are at least every family I know personally has at least one person that somehow find his way into crypto, and the money he's earning is helping to solve some problems in the home. Because if you look at it very well, you are a family, like this analogy you gave about 9-to-5 people, maybe 20 years. If you do the calculation, they can never achieve it. And how much is minimum wage?
Because you still eat,
you still
pay
trust.
rent,
Yes,
you still
there's so many
transport
things,
yourself.
and then there is deflation. Deflation will still happen.
Yeah, very true.
So that stuff they are paying you. Let's say they were paying you 50,000 before, and it was enough for you. Over the last 10 years, that 50,000 has gone down to like 50 naira. If you really check it,
Very true.
What can you do with 50 naira now? Nothing. Almost the same things you could use 50 naira to do like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's what you are using 50 naira to do.
So let me come at you this way now. They will say, okay, the crypto market is very volatile. The high and the low is just like cocaine. And so many people
Why
don't
do you
want to
use
make...
cocaine? use forex.
Okay, just like there's the high, there's the low. And mostly bad news is always at the forefront of everything.
Yes.
So people only see the bad part of it. So let me come at you now. I want to get in. How do I start? Where do I get the education from?
Yeah. I even like the fact that when you said start, the next thing that came was education. Because I was going to tell you that before you start, be educated. If you follow my story, you see that because I wasn't properly educated, not because I didn't want to, but there was limited education out there then, right? I burnt my fingers and a lot of people's fingers. You understand? That's the same thing with any person that gets in, even today, that's not properly educated. He will come back to say, oh, I lost my money. But just like people forget that this industry is a professional industry as well. Yes, I understand that there is no, people don't go to school to study crypto or blockchain and to be certified. But it's the same thing with those who study medicine and surgery.
Now it's mainstream. People can go to school.
Yeah, now yes.
Yeah,
but like, I'm talking about like maybe in our local universities.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
But you should still treat it as something that is that professional that you need to learn and understand to be able to make the right decisions. Because it's all about decisions. It's all about making moves. You understand?
Yeah.
So now, the first step, education. For you to understand the preliminary aspect of it, how to start, how to safeguard yourself, because it's a good portion of blockchain has to do with the financial aspect, which is crypto, right? So how to protect yourself, even protect yourself from losing and protect yourself from scammers, because as far as money is involved, there will be human beings that want to take your money from you, through backdoor. So you need to learn that one first. So when you are done learning that part, then you have to now choose from plethora of options which of the aspects of crypto and blockchain that suits you as a person, considering your industry, considering your personality, considering your talent. You understand?
Yeah.
So a doctor, nobody tells you not to do crypto, but find which aspect you should focus on. Don't say you're a doctor and then you now go and start trading, staying all night, trading futures. You will kill somebody the next day. You want to say something?
Yeah, but there are people now that once they hear the word crypto, they associate it with scam, because in one way or the other they've gotten their fingers burnt. And I'll tell you that a lot of things that happen in the crypto space, there are a lot of hidden, because it is decentralized in the sense that no one is in control of it. No particular entity is in full control of it. So if I go to CBN, if you have, let's say you have an account with either First Bank, GT, Echo, any of those banks, if I can't get your data from any of those banks, let's say GT or this thing, I can go to CBN. They regulate them, right?
Yes.
They will get your data from there. If I can't get it from CBN, I go to Ministry of Finance. I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
So in one way or the other, there's a body responsible for all the operations that is being done in the financial institution within the shores of Nigeria, right? That is centralized. It's a central system. There's always a way to track it. But cryptocurrency is decentralized. I don't know what your wallet is except you give it to me. If you tell me today that you don't have a wallet, you don't do crypto, I can't know. If I take your name and I take it to any of all these platforms, I might not be able to get access to the data. I don't know. So it's decentralized. And so people in one way or the other use it to launder funds. They get money from real economy, they put it in crypto, and they fold their hands. The political class, a lot of them have crypto wallets. A lot of them have these assets. I don't know if you get my point. And they will tell you they don't have. If they are declaring their assets, it's not going to be part of what is declared. And huge sums are being put into that industry.
Yeah.
It's $2 trillion. Where did $2 trillion come? Do you know how much we churn? A lot of money, in billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Even when it was banned. So if we look at all these things, what do you have to say regarding that aspect? The fact that it is not open, it is not regulated, and so people are so scared because they know that if they invest in this space, I can lose all my funds.
So let me correct some misconceptions.
Okay.
You said it is not regulated, but it is the most regulated, perhaps self-regulated industry.
Before ETF approval.
Even before ETF, I'm telling you that crypto is self-regulated on its own.
Self-regulated.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So anything
By the blockchain.
anything,
I'm coming. I'll
anything
still
self-regulated.
explain. Yes.
Everybody is a stakeholder.
Yes.
And if we have 60 cooks for a particular pot of soup, what will be what
I'm still
how
coming.
does it
I'm still
taste?
coming. I'm still
Yeah.
coming.
We need a leader. We need a
Number
regulator.
two.
Yeah.
Number two. It is the most transparent financial system ever in the history of man. Number three. It is the most trackable. I tell you, there's something called the data protection, whatever, right?
Yeah.
If I tell you I don't have a bank account in Nigeria, bro, if you can't also know that I don't have a bank account, so how will you know? You mentioned bodies that you can go to.
Yeah.
So you go there, they'll just give you my data. I will sue the hell out of them.
No. You
I'm
can go through
coming.
the law. Yeah.
Okay, for what
Sometimes
reason? I'm coming. Okay.
Police, if you
Wait,
fall victim of a particular scam in Nigeria,
Remember, we're going.
there's a way you can get a police-
Wait
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
I've not done anything.
Okay.
I'm innocent. I'm on my own.
Yeah.
Why would you go and start looking for my details? You don't have any reason whatsoever.
So
and you will not get
there was a particular time that a particular bank in this country,
yes.
one of the Fugas, I'm talking about the first most
Yes.
capitalized,
Yes.
first 5 most capitalized banks in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Data leaked, and we saw the information
So
on.
we are still beating about the bush.
Yes.
We are talking about ideal situations.
Okay.
Data leak is a different thing altogether.
Oh yeah.
And that's another reason why I will fault this financial in that part of financial industry you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
There's something like data leak in crypto because it's already leaked. It's already open. It's already transparent. You understand? So first of all, I've not done nothing wrong. Why would you go and start looking for my data? Number one, if you get it, I sue you and I sue the people. You tell me the reason why you will leak my data.
True.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Number two, I've done something wrong. Okay, you have a reason to go and look for it. Same way, if this crypto that you're talking about, you are saying that, oh, you can look for data. If somebody does something wrong, now I have a reason to look for you. I will put intel on you. I will find your wallet and I will find you.
How will you find my wallet? Because I didn't register my wallet with my name.
Yes, of course.
If it's
okay,
it's only on centralized exchange.
I'm
that you can
coming.
do that.
I'm coming.
But on decentralized exchange,
I will still find you.
Know I have an intent of laundering funds.
I will still find you, bro.
In Binance
okay,
or your platform.
wait. How the
when
money?
you collect my KYC,
I'm coming.
I will go get a cold storage.
I'll find you. First of all, you have a cold storage.
Yes.
Should I tell you how I'll find you?
How?
Okay. How did the money that gets into that cold storage get there? From somewhere.
Yeah.
Some of it's probably from centralized exchange. You can't control where it will come from.
True.
If I have an intel on you, I will know the people you discuss with, you interact with. Someday I will know. Somehow I will get into their life.
What if it's P2P and the person I interacted with, I don't know the person?
See, you can. Yes. There's always a point.
Yeah.
I'm coming. There's always a point of failure in every technology, in every movement, everything. There's always so there will be someone somehow. So if I can't get you directly, I'll go through someone that
has interacted with
you.
Okay.
And I will walk through that person. The person may not even know that I'm looking for you. The person will do transaction with you, and I'll be aware. And then from the hash, I will get your own transaction wallet.
True.
It's open, it's there.
Yeah.
The moment I lay hold on it, I don't need that person again. I'll put it on our forensic system. Anytime you do a transaction from that platform, I know where it's going to. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I want to catch everybody you have transacted with. They will catch you. So why am I even looking for you? Is it to monitor your transactions? And once I get that wallet, I have all your transactions open. But if you are looking for me, in the normal financial system, and you get my account number, you can't monitor my transactions. Because you have my account number now. I can go out there and I'll send money to somebody. You will not know. You will not be alerted.
True. But I can tell from your financial statement.
You will now go to bank and now ask for my transaction. They won't give it to you.
Yeah,
but in crypto,
I
have your wallet.
Yeah.
I put it on the system now in front of you. Give me your wallet. I'll put it in. And if you do a transaction, I'll get notified.
True.
All right, Mr. Franklin Peters, thank you. Before us continue this conversation, we'll spend like the whole day. I tell you. But thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
It's been like an impactful podcast, and hopefully we'll have you again for a longer session.
Yeah,
we'll have you again for a longer session. Thank you. Any closing remarks?
But
any advice?
Before we even close, let me just ask this final question. Do you think there will be a time where I would want to get a drink from the bar.
Yes.
And I will pay in Bitcoin.
There
I'll
is.
give the bartender Bitcoin to give me a drink. I'm not talking about in Dubai, because you're talking of Dubai now. You're talking of
the question you asked.
You're talking of South America where they've made Bitcoin a legal tender. In Nigeria, I'm just
what you're asking is, do you think there will be a time?
Yeah.
Now, they call me blockchain oracle because I do most of my research studying the past. Because if you understand the past, it gives you an understanding of the present and gives you an insight into the future. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now, you can't tell me, would there ever be a time, and I will not refer you to the past.
True.
First of all, look at how money has evolved. Money has never been static. We started from counting system, stones and stuff like that, to writing in, marking it on the chalkboard. What do you call it?
Abacus.
Yeah. Then we now did abacus. Then from there we went to gold era, right? Trade by barter.
Okay.
The Kara was accounting. Now
Okay.
you count. Then we went to trade by barter. Then from there we evolved to gold standard. From gold standard we went into the current financial paper money, fiat, and all those things. And from there we have gone into digital money, whereby you can send money, digital numbers to you. You will receive it.
True.
But there's possibility of double spending. There's the possibility of what do you call inflation.
Yeah.
You understand? And bad actors playing. And that was what brought about this current money standard called the Bitcoin standard.
True.
Bitcoin is the standard. Bitcoin is the standard. You understand? So I don't want to take too much time, but the point is that as far as it has gone through series of trials over the years since 2009. By the way, it was launched out at the brink of American financial crisis.
Yeah, 2008.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So it was a message that was passed. That was done. Governments have tried to shut it down. They couldn't shut it down. A lot of things have happened against it. Rather, it kept on evolving until now. You have Cardano, you have Ethereum, you have all these things within the system, and it still cannot be shut down. The fact that there is now a topic in the American Senate, they call for meetings and they talk about this thing.
Yeah,
bro, it's a lot. Then the fact that there are countries, Central American Republic, Central African Republic, CAFR, right?
Yes,
I've adopted it, has accepted it as legal tender. A couple of other countries, including El Salvador have taken it as a legal tender. It has boosted their economy. The fact that big names like Elon Musk have a good portion of their wealth. I'm talking about Tesla owns Bitcoin. SpaceX has been. He's got him.
A lot of financial institutions.
Yeah, there's this guy
Michael. All these people are top people that are having it. Then ETF is on the way. What else are you looking for? Okay, let me bring you home.
Yeah.
Why do we have e-naira? Why are we talking about digital, another CNGN that is currently been approved and all that?
Yeah,
so it's a journey. You don't expect it to happen overnight.
What are your predictions? What are your predictions for Bitcoin?
My price prediction.
Yeah, price prediction.
My price prediction, I have always said it.
It's currently at 43.
43, yes. So I have an academy. If you just pick up your phone, search for http t.me, that's Telegram, right? If you go to Telegram, search for @b_oracle, @b_oracle, @b_oracle. You can follow me on social media @blockchain oracle on Instagram, Franklin Peters on Facebook, b_oracle on Twitter, right? Reach out to me. I'll add you to my channels. I have free sessions ongoing right now. I will teach you for free so that you will make money to pay for my premium channel.
I love that.
So thank you so much, Franklin Peters. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Where is our beer?
Definitely. They call me.
All right.
So guys, thanks guys.
Right.
See you next episode. Definitely. We'll break down everything for you to understand what is happening in the world of business on T-shirts. We just discuss all these conversations in a friendly manner. See you the next episode. Cheers.
The real conversation happen beyond the boardrooms. Join me at an intersection of business and lifestyle. Where suits meets T-shirts. This is the Franklin Business Podcast. Welcome.